Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Wednesday Night Mayhem. Yes, we are back the way it should be. Gola MF, Michael Fletcher, Michael Bullock, Anthony Florio, we're all in the house. We're going to start it off with NXT. We started it off with a triple threat for number one contenders for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. The winners will get a shot at the Great American Bash next week against Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae, and it will be Io Shirai and Zoe Stark. They will get the opportunity as they knock off Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart and Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez in 14 minutes and 1 second. Solid opener, really, really good thing. It was all over the place. It was pure chaos. I loved it. I loved how they played this out. But at the end of the day, the right team won. I think Io and Zoe is going to be a very good challengers for the championship. And you can already tell that how the way was trying to manipulate, saying that careful Zoe, Io's not to be trusted. But Io has said very clearly, Candice, you've never beaten me, and that's not going to change when I become the new tag team champion with Zoe Stark next week. So this was a solid opener. I enjoyed everything about it. Anthony Florio, come on in, my friend. Easily 3 to 3.5 stars to jump off a crazy NXT episode.
And the time of the fall again?
14:01.
14:01. 3.5 stars for me. The talent in this match is among the best in the business, and everyone delivered. This was high octane and consistently engaging. It did fall into some familiar spots and moments, but the home stretch was unpredictable all the way to the finish. Io Shirai and Zoe Stark were established in this match quickly. The story was that they had limited experience. Throughout, they became more and more supportive of one another until they were willing to do anything to help the other one succeed. While this new team may not be ready to dethrone Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, it is easy to believe that the number one contenders could win, especially with how short most NXT women's tag team title reigns have been. So we'll leave it at that. We'll find out what happens next week. So not much more to say. 3.5 stars. Michael Bullock, it's safe to say, Mr. NXT, that next week will, without a doubt, be the biggest match of Zoe Stark's young career to date.
Yeah, this will indeed be the biggest match of Zoe Stark's career, as she has a chance to go for some championship gold for the first time in her career here in NXT. So, yeah, 3.5 stars. This was definitely a great match to start off this edition of NXT. I mean, great work by all the competitors here, but at the end of the day, I mean, the right team won here. I mean, Zoe Stark and Io Shirai, I mean, they've proved that they are worthy contenders. And yeah, you did see that interview backstage, and Candice LeRae is already trying to play the mind games, telling Zoe Stark that Io Shirai is not to be trusted. Yeah, I mean, you really think that kind of manipulation is going to work on these two? Not on your life. And Io said it best. Candice, you've never beaten me. So, which is facts. So, should make for a pretty intriguing women's tag team title match next week at the Great American Bash. So, 3.5 stars, nothing more to say. It's onward, Fletch.
It's onward, and unfortunately, we got some cutouts in NXT. Very, very, very bad. But we do have some Roderick Strong against Asher Hale. Roderick Strong wins the match in 3 minutes and 2 seconds. I'm not gonna waste the guys on this one. Then we have Cameron Grimes versus Ali Sterling. Cameron Grimes wins the match in 2 minutes and 46 seconds. Another match that we could just throw to the wayside. But then we got to sell a very good promo segment that we need to get into. That was Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. Samoa Joe was there as well, but let's just say Anthony Florio, that Adam Cole went there and Samoa Joe, some people were saying he abused his power, but he didn't touch Adam Cole. But Kyle O'Reilly, oh boy, did he do.
Yeah, heel hook and everything else. And but something interesting did come out of that, the post-match after Cameron Grimes. I mean, it was announced that next week at the Great American Bash, we will see LA Knight defend the $1 Million Championship against Cameron Grimes. And if Cameron Grimes fails to win the $1 Million Championship, he's got to become LA Knight's butler.
Oh,
this could be like DiBiase and Virgil all over again.
oh.
So, it
actually does have that feeling of it.
It does, but imagine Cameron Grimes as the butler for LA Knight.
Yeah, that's definitely something to think about. I hate to say it, I think it's going to happen, but you never know. You never know. They could surprise and they could put the belt on Cameron Grimes. I mean, that'd be a big moment for him, no doubt about that. But get that happy ending a la Virgil at SummerSlam 91, but we'll see. But anyways, while we have heard most of this before, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly sold it as fresh. It was nice to see both committing fully to their roles. Cole intentionally did not try to overshadow O'Reilly as he has in the past, allowing Kyle O'Reilly to look like he had moved past his former friend. Joe versus Cole has to be an eventual plan. The story has been engaging with no immediate promise of resolution. It will be a special moment when Joe finally snaps and demands a chance to face Adam Cole. But the segment was great. I mean, yes, we talk about going there, and Adam Cole went there, bringing up Kyle O'Reilly's wife, and yeah, that's going to do it. That's going to do it every time. So, there's not much more to say on this. This was a fantastic segment here. So, not really much for me to say on this. Michael Bullock, I mean, could you imagine a potential Adam Cole Samoa Joe match if and when that happens? Woo!
Yeah, that'll be something, but we'll wait and see how it all develops as time goes on. But for right now, I mean, this was another strong promo. I mean, the verbal jab between these two, it's entertaining when these two literally go at it. But yeah, Adam Cole, he went someplace he's not supposed to go. He mentioned Kyle O'Reilly's wife when basically saying, everybody knows I'm the best. Even the Samoa Joe knows, the entire locker room, and even your wife. And I'm like, oh boy. Adam Cole went there, and let's just say Kyle O'Reilly was not too happy about that, and he let it known afterwards when Adam Cole tried to go for a cheap shot, but Kyle O'Reilly put him in looked like some version of an ankle lock, and Cole was asking Joe to try to stop him, but you remember what Mr. William Regal said because of this new role that he's in. He cannot put his hands on anybody unless he's provoked. So Joe left the ring and left the security guards to try to break this up.
But honestly, do you honestly think Samoa Joe was actually going to get involved after the fact that you took a cheap shot and said something about Kyle O'Reilly's wife?
Yeah. You really think he was going to do it?
That's not happening. No, that's like somebody asking me to help you to try to pry you off after somebody talks about your girl. I'm not getting involved in that. I want my hands clean and I say goodbye. I'm out the door.
As Vince McMahon would say, not a chance in hell. There was no way Samoa Joe was going to help that piece of crap for, especially after talking about somebody's wife. So So he said, "All right, I got nothing. I don't want anything to do with this. Security, you go do your thing." So that was the end of that. So strong promo. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, it is yours.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. And think about this. It's non-sanctioned. Get ready for a war, guys. That's all I'm going to say. So nothing to say. So we got to go up against, now we have another match here, as it was Jake Atlas and Mercedes Martinez versus Xia Li and Boa. And the fight gets stopped in 5 minutes even. The X comes out because Mercedes Martinez got knocked out. I mean, Xia Li turns around, does a roundhouse kick on Mercedes Martinez, and boys, she went out. Like, you could tell she was out. Like, uncon out. Anthony posted it. I think Mike Bullock, you also referenced it on the messenger, but I think Floyo was the first one to jump on it because he noticed it.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, "Holy smokes!" I mean,
yeah,
that was no work.
That was no work. And you could see when she did that roundhouse kick, she went around. Did you see the whiplash effect that Mercedes took?
Ooh.
Like, it went from the back of the head, side of the head, boom. Next thing you know, you see Mercedes drop. And you're like, and I was like, oh my God. So we all were wondering, is she okay? Well, as of right now, she was taken to a hospital, and no, they're not using the word medical facility like they always do. She was actually taken to a legit hospital in Orlando. She has been diagnosed as of right now with a concussion. She is listed with a concussion. This is actually reporting from my own sources. This is not from any of the media or anybody else. Nobody's reporting this. I think it's a concussion that she suffered because of that kick to the head. So that's my own reporting.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that kick, I was like, yeah, this has got concussion literally written all over it. No doubt about it in my mind. I mean, memo to Xia Li. I mean, be very careful. I mean, I know you've got some dangerous kicks, so, but man, you really went full force on it, and who knows how long Mercedes Martinez is going to be out after that kick. My goodness gracious. I mean,
normally she's got to go through concussion protocol now and the whole 9 yards. So obviously Mercedes is going to be out for at least, I want to say, for at least a couple of weeks until they can medically clear her. Normally, an injury like this, a concussion, they normally keep you out at least a month. I remember, I think Dolph Ziggler had a concussion, and they held him out for at least 1 month before he got back into the ring. So
Fletch, do you really think Xia Li is going to have any remorse for what she did? Not in your freaking life.
No, but the thing is that, accidents do happen, and I get it, but in storyline mode, no. In storyline mode, she's not going to be apologetic. She's going to be like, look what I just did. I just took out Mercedes Martinez with one kick.
You know what? She's probably like, if I could do that to Mercedes Martinez, imagine what I could do to a current NXT champion.
Yeah. Oh, obviously, she's gonna make this. The storyline I would work now, if I'm NXT, if I'm Triple H, if I'm Shawn Michaels, is give her the nuclear heat. Give her the heat right now. Have her gloat over the fact that she just took out Mercedes Martinez and just say that that's an example of what happens if you mess with us. That we're taking over NXT and I'm coming after the title. I'm going to do whatever it takes to destroy. And Mercedes Martinez is an example of what I'm capable of. And come at me about that. So, no, I definitely agree with everything you said. If I'm Triple H and I'm Shawn Michaels, I'm working this angle right now. I'm
with you, Fletch, on this one.
I would work this angle right now and make her feel like she is a badass. Make her feel like she's the most dangerous woman right now in NXT. If you do that, then that's great. Now, obviously, there's going to be a moment where Mercedes comes back, and you know she's going to want retribution. It comes at that point is, when do we get it? Now, I feel sorry for Jake Atlas, and I feel sorry for the others that the match never really got off the ground. Like, we didn't get enough of a match. The match was a little bit rushed, and we didn't really get any payoff on it. But the thing was, how are we going to get any payoff when you get a legit injury like that? Sometimes in wrestling, freak accidents do happen. Moments like this do happen. And I mean, I feel bad because this could have been an interesting fight. This could have been an interesting match. But the thing is that it's an automatic NA. We can't rate this because A, an injury occurred in the ring, and B, I don't know if we could even do anything with this, guys. I don't know, Anthony, how you feel about it. If we could even give a thought about it. I just feel bad because it's kind of one of those tough situations where we just saw a superstar just legitly get hurt right before our very eyes, and with a pretty good shot to the head and what I'm claiming as a possible concussion.
Yes, but as a story, this was perfect. Mercedes Martinez was motivated but too distracted by the hope of fighting Ying. Tian Sha remains dominant in a way fans rarely see in NXT. The group has not lost a step along the way through this push. The problem, however, was the in-ring work. This was sloppy throughout. It ended with a kick that landed far too hard. The reaction of Martinez with the finish indicated she could have been concussed. Lee remains a work in progress in the ring. So, we're going to have to wait and see. It is an NA, obviously, but, this is far from over. So, not much more to say. Move on.
Okay, fair enough. And then the next thing we had was a promo segment as we had the four men who's going to be battling it out for the NXT Tag Team titles, Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher and MSK, Nash Carter and Wes Lee. Anthony Florio, oh my God. The hype was real. And next week at the Great American Bash, they're going to war for the tag team gold.
And we're going to need to call, we're going to need to call that security force or whatever, authorities or whatever, because them boys are going to steal the dang show. That's all there is to say on that. And my only gripe is NXT should have given more time to building this match. But this segment did some great heavy lifting. The two teams brought a fire for this coming title bout that makes it must watch. No matter who wins next week, it will steal the show. It would make sense for the veterans to dethrone the rookies. However, it would make just as much sense for Carter and Wes Lee to earn the respect of Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. The future of the tag team division is in the balance with the result of this contest. It is one of the most exciting matchups in the division in years. So all I can say is, Michael Bullock, get ready. It's going to be before I give it to Bullock, let me just say it like this. I'm going to pull the Jesse Ventura montage here. Ciampa and Thatcher, they're the stronger of the two. They're the stronger of the two teams, more powerful, obviously. While Lee and Carter, while the champions, they're the quicker of the two teams. So What they cannot do, they cannot match power with Tommaso with Ciampa and Thatcher. Because if they do, they're gonna get torn apart easily. So they got to keep it to their style of bout. If they do that, then they may have a chance. But we'll see. So with that being said, Michael Bullock, get ready. I mean, this could be one of the best tag team title matches in a very long time on the Black and Gold brand.
Oh yeah, this has got a chance of being something really good next week. I mean, I enjoy the promo, the back and forth between these two. I mean, you could say this is pretty much a David versus Goliath because you got the high flyers known as MSK against the team with power and strength and Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher, and as Michael Cole once said going into that Triple H Daniel Bryan match, on paper this should be a mismatch, but you cannot discount the heart of MSK, and they're gonna put up a valiant effort here. So yeah, and the thing is, they need to keep it to their pace. They need to use that speed and agility, and cannot match power with Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. They do, we're gonna crown new NXT Tag Team Champions. So we'll see how it goes, and I cannot wait for this. So there's nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute my mic. Yeah, no, this was a very solid segment. I really enjoyed it. Nothing, but the hype is really good. I thought they did a really good job with the hype. So we'll see how this goes out. More than anything else. So now here we go. Then there was a moment where Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory tried to jump Karrion Kross. Did not work. That was a bad mistake, and there's really nothing more to say. I don't know why they're trying to pick a fight with them. That was a big error, big boo boo, whatever you wanted to call it. But here we go, guys. Main event of the evening: the Colossal Bronson Reed versus Isaiah Swerve Scott, along with Thad B, Top Dollar, and Ashanti the Adonis. And it was for the North American Championship. The winner of the bout in 13 minutes and 3 seconds. And new NXT North American Champion Isaiah Swerve Scott. Michael Bullock. Oh my God, history has been made. Brother man, you got yourself a new tag team, a new North American champion.
And what was the time of the fall?
13:03.
Yeah, this to me was a really good match here. I mean, I think to me this was the fight of the night as far as I'm concerned here. I'll give this 3.5 to 3 3/4. I mean, this was definitely a really good match here, and yeah, I mean, Isaiah Swerve Scott finally captures gold in NXT. Well, basically with a little help from the Hit Row, and took advantage of it, and we got ourselves a new champion. And are you thinking what I'm thinking, guys? Now that Bronson Reed has lost the title, could a potential?
Oh, he's on his way. I think he's on his way to the main roster.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible.
I think so too. And all I can say is, Fletch and Florio, I know you two are salivating about the chances of having Bronson Reed on either of your shows.
Oh yeah, definitely. I kind of feel like right now, it kind of depends on how this plays out. I mean, this could go either way, but I'm going to openly admit it that I think it could definitely go to I don't know, maybe Raw gets them, but SmackDown is so depleted right now. I think SmackDown's going to get them because SmackDown needs talent over there. They're desperate for talent right now.
Yeah,
I think SmackDown needs them more than Raw.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we're fine on talent.
Yeah, so there's really nothing more for me to say. Isaiah Swerve Scott is on the rise now, so Fletch, it is yours.
Yeah, I cannot believe Bronson Reed just lost the belt. But this is a big moment for Isaiah Swerve Scott and his crew. For them to finally have some gold, for them to be the first, for them to be a major player now. I mean, that's a big deal, big moment for them, no doubt about it. This was a good match too, a 3 to 3.5. Solid way to close what was really, I hate to say this, an up and down NXT. But there was a couple of good moments here, but this was definitely a great moment to close the night with a crowning of a new champion. Anthony, it's yours.
Reed and Swerve have never had perfect chemistry, but there was a clear story to this match that has lacked in their previous encounters. Swerve walked in confident and never lost his edge, knowing he would be outmatched physically. Hit Row did not get involved until late, and it was only a small distraction that opened the door for Hit Row to gain gold. Swerve has been waiting a long time for this moment, so while it feels like a fast move to give him the title, he has more than earned it. NXT has protected Hit Row as a major faction. This was the final step to solidify this group as one to truly watch. NXT is going to be dominated by Hit Row for a long time to come. So that's all there is to say on that. But I think this was the second best fight of the night. I think that women's triple threat was just a smidgen better, but this was right up there as well. I could probably say 3.25 to 3.5 for me. The other one was about 3.5, maybe 3 3/4. So yeah, like MF said, up and down show, but they can't be perfect every week. So, but it was still a good show though. So that's all I can say. So MF, let's kick it off with you for our overall review.
I hate to do this, Michael Bullock, and I know how much you love NXT. I got to go at least 6.5. Like I said, it was a good show. It was an up and down, but there was a lot of downs tonight, or I should say last night. I mean, yes, you did get a payoff. The triple threat tag team fight was fight of the night. Then you had the great main event at the end for the North American title, and there was a couple of decent moments. The promo segments where Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, the thing that outside when the way try to jump carry on cross. So you had that, and then but a lot of it was really filler that normally is not NXT level. That's something NXT never really does. It's filler. Every match that they do has a purpose, is a banger, and you get hyped about it. I just feel like maybe this is a punt because they're setting up for Great American Bash. So, because that's all I felt like. I felt like they punted this show. That this is just a show just to get out of the way because next week it's Great American Bash, and I know for a fact NXT when they do these network specials, they go absolutely balls to the wall. So I think that's what we're gonna get, a monster show next week. Great American Bash. I think it's gonna be lit, and that's why I think 6 to 6.5 for me on this show last night, because I felt like they just decided, let's just punt this one till next week, and then we'll give the fans something to really cheer about. So, Florio, it's yours.
6.5 out of 10 for me. It was an interesting show as they were pushing a lot of what was left for the Bash while also doing a little something of their own. The Bash is a huge card at the moment, almost feeling like a mini takeover. If NXT can deliver on something like that, they're going to be fine next week. Last night's show worked well, but it didn't quite handle the balancing act as perfectly as they could have. We had 2 good matches, a couple of good segments here and there, but we did have a couple of fights, but it is what it is. New North American champion in Swerve. I mean, biggest win for that young man since he won the Major League Wrestling Fusion Heavyweight Championship when he was Shane Strickland. So MF knows that very well. So big moment for him. I mean, I've been behind him since his 205 days. I mean, it's a damn shame he never got a run with the Cruiserweight title, but hey, North American title, that's a major upgrade. I'll say that for sure. So that's all I can say here. 6.5 for me. Mr. NXT, close it out, and then we'll get ready for Dynamite.
Yeah, 6.5 for me. I mean, it was a good show, but But like Anthony Florio just said, I mean, you can't expect it to be perfect every single week. Like you knew at some point that they were going to have a little bit of a setback, even though, like you said, it was a good show. I mean, the triple threat tag team and the North American title were good. You had some decent matches, but there were plenty of filler and some bad matches. But other than that, I mean, it was a good show, but I'm definitely expecting a much better show next week, especially with this being the Great American Bash. So there's really nothing more to say. 6.5 for me. So Fletch, let's get on to tonight's Dynamite, which was the final AEW Dynamite of the pandemic era.
Yeah, because it. Thank you, Daily's Place, for being such an incredible home for AEW and Miami. The U, get ready, boys. Next week, it's you guys. We're going live on TNT, back where it's supposed to be. So we started off with Eddie Kingston and Penta El Zero Miedo M versus the Young Bucks in a tag team eliminator match. If the if the AEW tag team champions were able to win the match, that would have eliminated Penta El Zero Miedo and Eddie Kingston out of the tag team title contention. If they won, though, they possibly are the next team in line to get the titles. And guess what? Kingston and Penta El Zero Miedo does win the match. 15 minutes, 46 seconds. This was an amazing opener, to say the very least. And I gotta say, it was an awesome battle. Great fight. 3.5 to 3 3/4. Really nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it's all yours.
On an average Dynamite, this would have been the fight of the night. But on this show tonight, it's only second best fight of the night on. Is he saying, wow, there was actually another match that was better than this? Yes, there was. We'll get to that in a little bit. Love them or hate them, the Young Bucks are routinely part of the best match on any episode of Dynamite on which they are a part of. This was no different, as the in-ring work was action-packed, energetic, and highly dramatic. The near fall toward the end of the bout that had the fans chanting, "That was 3," indicated just how invested this was in the action. That the babyfaces finally got one over on the Bucks was a nice change of pace and something desperately needed after weeks of the heels building heat over the heroes. By way of their win, Kingston and Penta will be up next to challenge for the World Tag Team Championship. While a win would be a great way to pay off their long friendship and potentially set up a conflict for Jon Moxley's return, they don't feel like the team to end the Bucks' lengthy title reign. And next week, gentlemen, that first show, that show in Miami on the campus of the U, next Wednesday night, Penta and Eddie get the title opportunity. We're gonna see it. Penta Zero Miedo and El Zero Miedo and Eddie Kingston, they will challenge the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team Championship next Wednesday night. 3 3/4 to 4 stars for me. This was the second best fight of the night. So, Michael Bullock, what a way to start off the final AEW Dynamite of the Daily's Place era with this banger. And we're gonna get it again next week for the titles. You thought tonight was good. Next week could be even better.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially with the titles on the line, it's, who knows? This could even be better, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, 3 3/4 to 4, second best fight of the night. I mean, what an amazing match between these two. The Young Bucks, like you said, love them or hate them, they always seem to put on a good match. But then again, you could also say for Penta and Eddie Kingston, and yeah, I mean, we saw a lot. I mean, obviously with involvement from obviously Gallows and Anderson, and of course Frankie Kazarian getting involved too. So yeah, basically, I mean, they get the opportunity. All I can say is to the U, get ready. you're in for something good here. So great way to start off the final AEW Dynamite of the Daily's Place era. So there's really nothing more to say except Fletch. Let's move on.
All right, and then the next thing that we did have on AEW Dynamite here, we had Jungle Boy going up against Jack Evans. Jungle Boy wins the match in 6 minutes and 3 seconds, and a very noteworthy moment for Jungle Boy here tonight, his 50th victory. That's right, 5-0, 50 wins for Jungle Boy in AEW. Anthony, the hardest working man in the company, I believe, is now the first man to the 50 wins in AEW.
Yes, he indeed is. He is indeed the first man to reach 50 wins, which is remarkable. I thought some of these other performers had it, but wow. All right. Another that's a little bit of a consolation for young Jungle Boy Jack Perry, who wrestled the fight of his life last Saturday night in a very game effort against Kenny Omega. Nearly won the World Heavyweight Championship, but it is what it is. But Jungle Boy looked great, a much more confident wrestler than he was even 6 months ago. The match against Kenny Omega last Saturday had him looking like a world champion, and he approached the match with Jack Evans like one. The more reps he gets in those high-profile bouts, the better prepared he will be when it is time to pull the proverbial trigger on him in that role. So, and then the feud with the Hardy family office is fine, but it feels like a step down already, given the high he rode just days earlier. So, I think we could be looking at a potential 8-man tag, perhaps Christian Cage and the Lucha Express, or Jurassic Express, squaring off against the Hardy family office. Matt Hardy, the Private Party, and maybe Jack Evans. I don't know. We'll wait and see on that. But I think it's all eventually going to lead. What we all want to see, the old school diehard wrestling fans like the three of us are. The match we all want to see, that the nostalgic bout. We all want to see Christian Cage and Matt Hardy one more time, and conjure up those memories of 20 plus years ago, when the two of them, along with Edge and Jeff Hardy, respectively, were having those legendary TLC bouts with the Dudleys and all that good stuff. So we'll wait and see. So, but nonetheless, I could probably give this maybe 2 to 2.5 for the effort. But you knew Jungle Boy was going to win this. I mean, the outcome was never in doubt. But but congratulations nonetheless to Jungle Boy, 50 wins. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. I mean, I thought maybe Jericho. I thought maybe Omega. I thought, so many of these great talents. But I can't believe that Jungle Boy already has 50 wins. That's insane. So good work, young man. Good work. So that kid is going to be a star for years to come. And I believe in my heart of hearts, I don't know when, but I believe one day that young man will be an AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I believe it. So not much more to say here. 2.5 for this. So Michael Bullock, Jungle Boy, first to 50 wins, but it looks like he and the Jurassic Express have a date with the Hardy front office. Maybe an 8-man down the road.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. With Jurassic Express and Christian Cage against the Hardy family office somewhere down the line. But yeah, I mean, 2.5. I agree. I mean, Jungle Boy needed this victory. I mean, obviously after he had the, like you said, the match of his life against Kenny Omega, where I thought it looked like he was going to win the world title. But nice bounce back win for him. But like Florio said, I do see Jungle Boy being an AEW world champion somewhere down the line. So there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And now we go into the next match of the evening, as it was Miro going against Brian Pillman Jr. for the TNT title. Miro wins the match in 7 minutes and 37 seconds. Michael Bullock Oh man, Brian Pillman Jr. Give him props for the performance he did, but when it was all said and done, it was game over for Brian Pillman Jr. as Miro successfully defends the title.
Another 2.5 star match for me. Brian Pillman Jr. definitely put up a valiant effort, but you really think Miro was going to lose this match? No way. I mean, he wasn't dropping that title tonight or at some point. At any point. So proving that he was just too much for Brian Pillman Jr. So let's just say, in WWE it was Rusev Crush. In this case, Fletch, it was Miro Crush, and that's what he did to Brian Pillman Jr. So it's yours, Fletch.
Give credit where credit's due to Brian Pillman Jr. Gallant effort. However, Miro is just Miro. He's the best man. He was amazing. He's the top guy now with the TNT title. That was a dominating performance. Really, nothing more to add there. So now we move on to the next situation of the evening, as it was. Um, as it was Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero versus Dr. Britt Baker and Rebel. Britt Baker and Rebel wins the match in 7 minutes and 34 seconds. But after the match, Nyla Rose with a beast bomb on Britt Baker. And oh man, well, if anything was anything about this war, it's just got serious now. Look, not the best match, obviously. You could even make an argument for worst fight of the night, even though it wasn't. But this was a decent match. This was all right. Maybe 2 stars. I really got nothing more to add here. This was just a solid. This was just solid to say the very least. And yeah, really nothing more to add. So Anthony Florio, it is yours as the native beast left her mark and laid out the AEW Women's World Champion.
That she did, but you made a botch, MF. You forgot to get my thoughts on the previous match, unless I already did.
If you want to give it again. I don't remember having the thought. So
yeah,
I probably did. Yeah, I probably did make a mistake. My bad. Yeah. Go ahead, Florio. Give me a thought.
I mean, you know where I'm going to go with this. Couldn't wait to move on there, could you? No, Tony, no.
But I'm trying to get done at a reasonable time. My bad.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm with you in that. But anyways, gentlemen, imagine if we had seen this Miro from the get-go when he debuted in AEW. Sure, some would have complained about former WWE guys getting pushes out of the box, but there is absolutely an argument to be made that the company and performer alike would have been better off cutting out everything that we actually did get, if only because Miro is absolutely thriving in this new role. He is dominant, unstoppable, and soundly beating anyone that steps up to him. Brian Pillman Jr., even with a spirited babyface comeback, never really felt like a threat to beat the champ, nor did Lance Archer back at Double or Nothing last month. Miro has been on a whole other level, to the point that a showdown with Kenny Omega would not be a guaranteed win for the best bout machine. And that's really all we can say on that. So this would probably be about another 2 to 2.5 for that. Now, as far as what we saw here tonight, I'm sorry. I gotta poo-poo on this. This was about a 1-star effort, 1.5 maybe. Worst fight of the night. This was not a match that needed to happen. Vicky Guerrero is not a trained wrestler, and Rebel doesn't do enough of it. That the latter was clearly hurt during the encounter only enhanced how unnecessary this was. That is not to downplay the effectiveness of the post-match activity, though. Nyla Rose driving Dr. Britt through the table built heat for their program and sets the good doctor up as the de facto babyface. And if that angle doesn't do it, the fans' overwhelmingly positive reaction for Baker sure suggests she is closer to a hero than a villain at this point in her AEW career. So, worst fight of the night for me, 1 to 1.5. I mean, no offense or anything. Vicky Guerrero, you are much better as a mouthpiece and a manager you don't belong in the wrestling ring. You never have.
I agree.
WrestleMania 26, anyone?
Yeah, no.
Oh, you had to go there with that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, WrestleMania 26, he does that hog splash on Kelly and botches the cover. Good Lord.
Yeah.
You don't belong in the ring, darling. You're a great mouthpiece, yes. But as a wrestler, no, honey.
Yeah.
Stick to managing. You're much better at that.
Yeah.
You get enough heel heat with that whole excuse me alone.
Yeah.
Always have, always will. So
Yeah.
not much more to say. 1.5, and I'm being generous on this. Pull it.
And
Well, I was trying to forget about that match from WrestleMania 26, but now you brought that up. It's back in my mind. So
Jealous, huh?
thanks a lot, Florio, for trying to bring that back up, which you did.
Jealous, huh?
Oh, I'm not jealous. It's Anywho, 1.5 to 2. I mean, I'm not gonna poo-poo all over it that much, like Florio just did. I mean, I'm not saying it was the best thing out there. I mean, wasn't that good, but I'm not. I'll just say it at best. It was so nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
I wish Rebel gets a little more opportunity because damn, she's good looking, she's hot, and she is a good wrestler. She is a good wrestler. Nyla Rose, we already know what she's about. We already know what she brings to the table. Britt Baker, look, she said she's trying to create a new era of AEW women's division. She's definitely well on her way to doing that. Is she going to be the monster? I don't know. Right now, it looks like they are trying to book her as the face because it seems like the fans are pushing her that direction. Even though Britt Baker she's got the heel-like tendencies, especially with trying to generate the negative heat, but I think she might be one of those she might be another Becky Lynch or another AJ Lee where they're trying to push her to be a heel, but it looks like the fans are not gonna let her be that. That's the feeling I'm getting. I think it changes when she gets up against maybe a Ty Conte or a Thunder Rosa. I think then she'll go back to the heel. But right now, Anthony, you're absolutely right here. I think Britt Baker is more suited to be the babyface of this matchup. But I'm going to say it. The minute she goes up against Ty, forget it. People love Ty Conte right now. Ty is too hot right now. Muy caliente, as we would say in Spanish. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But we'll go into the main event of the evening. Anthony Florio will get to lead off on this one, as it was Sammy Guevara going up against MJF. MJF gets the win. 20 minutes, 19 seconds in the main event of the evening. Anthony Florio, it is yours.
I know we're going to crap all over the finish, and rightfully so, but this match was way too damn good. 4.25 to 4.5 stars. This was the fight of the night. I mean, they stole the damn show, but then again, we had a feeling they were going to. This was a look into the future of AEW and professional wrestling as a whole. Billed as one of the most anticipated matches in the company's recent memory, Sammy Guevara versus MJF delivered a showcase of youth, energy, excitement, and potential. It was competitive, dramatic, and justifiably had fans chanting, "This is awesome," as the competitors threw everything they had at each other in the name of scoring both the win and bragging rights. Now, you noticed MJF, he was nursing a knee injury during this. Hopefully that knee injury was part of the story, though it did not necessarily feel that way. He has a huge rematch with Chris Jericho that needs to happen to pay off the storyline with the Pinnacle and Inner Circle. A setback due to injury would be devastating and put things in a holding pattern, something no one is asking for given the length of the feud already. On a side note, after this was over and before they signed off, they did a tribute video package produced by AEW that highlighted its time in Jacksonville over the last year and change was something truly special. Everyone involved with the making of that video should be extremely proud of their accomplishments with it. And more importantly, management should be applauded for paying tribute to its fans and host city in that manner. Although good old JR Jim Ross had a brain fart at the end saying there's nothing like a live WWE Dynamite. I'm like, what?
No.
Ruh-roh. That's a ruh-roh moment there.
But I'm going to give him a pass because, look, he's too excited. Look, everybody makes mistakes.
Dude, so, you know what? He gets the pass, but Botchamania. You know they're coming after him now.
Oh,
and
you know
the marks out there, the smarks out there. That's not really fans of Jim Ross. Oh, dude, they got bulletin board material tonight.
Yeah, they sure do. But just wanted to address that. But that video package was amazing, and I couldn't believe it when I heard that. I'm like, ruh-roh. And that's why I had to hit you guys up in the messenger. I wanted to make sure we addressed that. So, but anyways, 4 1/4, 4.5 stars. Fight of the night. Yes, the finish was blah. Typical MJF Pinnacle BS, but you can't deny this match was way too damn good. Way too damn good. So definitely will be up there as far as TV match of the year candidates go. Abso-friggin-lutely. This will definitely be on a list despite the nonsense finish, but I don't care, man. I mean, it had the feel of a pay-per-view match. It had the Shakespearean drama in it. It had the feel of a title match even, but But anyways, like I said, 4 1/4, 4.5. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, yes, we're gonna crap all over the finish, but who cares? That match was way too damn good. I'm sorry.
It was really good, but I'm sorry, I can't give it the 4.5. Because of that crappy ending. I mean, I can only give this 4 stars. I'm sorry. I mean, yes, this was a damn good match. This was the fight of the night, but I know we expected the Pinnacle to get involved, but me being the wrestling fan like you guys are, I wanted to see these two go at it straight up, no BS, no nothing. I mean, that's just how I wanted it to be. So, yeah, this obvious. I mean, we're obviously going to get a payoff, obviously, with with Jericho and MJF meeting somewhere down the line. And as a matter of fact, next week, MJF's going to come up with some for Chris Jericho to do in order to get that match. So we'll wait and see what happens. So 4 stars for me. I can't give it the 4.5 because of the crappy finish here. So nothing more to say. Fletch, I mean, I could go 4.5, but like I said, I can't give it 4 because of that finish.
4 stars for me as well. There's really nothing more to add here. So overall review, Mike Bullock, you lead off.
Yeah, this to me was a really good last AEW Dynamite and at the Daily's place. I mean, yeah, I mean you had a lot of good, really good matches, some decent matches here. So to me, I'm gonna give this about an 8 out of 10. I mean, this to me was, and of course, this obviously means AEW wins this week over NXT. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say, and all I can say is, I mean, the Daily's place should be commended for the job they've done during the year and a half that AEW's been there, and given us some great moments there. And all I can say is, I'm ready for next week when they go back on the road. So nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, they'll be back on the road in Miami. 8 out of 10 for me as well. There's really nothing more to add. So Anthony, final thought.
Yeah. big night next week. No doubt about it. AEW back on the road in Miami at the Knight Center. I mean, and by the way, for the record, JR has already addressed his little botch. He said, "Yep, I apparently made an untimely error tonight at show's end. No excuses, and I'm not quitting." And
all right.
Yep, that's what he said. And he also responded to somebody who called him out on it. He said, "Thanks, Dave. It's all on me. No excuses." So so that's all there is to say on that. So just to put that issue to bed. But
okay.
But oh boy, we got a lot of things on the pipeline for next week, folks. I mean,
oh yeah.
Look at this. I mean, this could be the dynamite of the year next week. And what a way to welcome back, live crowd, literal live crowds. I mean, Young Bucks, Penel, Zero Miedo, Eddie Kingston, World Tag Team title match. Mixed tag team match, Orange Cassidy, Chris Statlander against the Blade and the Bunny. Cody Rhodes, QT Marshall in a South Beach strap match. The MF special, Andrade El Idolo and Matt Sydal. It's going to happen.
Yep.
MJF and Chris Jericho's face-to-face. And Santana, Ortiz, and Jake Hager of the Inner Circle will square off against Wardlow and FTR of the Pinnacle. Telly Blanchard in the Pinnacle's corner. And Conan is going to be the special corner man for the Inner Circle. Obviously, a lot of history with him, Santana and Ortiz, dating back to their Impact days as the new LAX. But anyways, what a great night this was. What a poignant end to AEW's time in Jacksonville, giving us a hell of an end of this season show while still building towards upcoming events. The main event was great, and you have to admit to not knowing MJF could go like that. Rare night where the quality of wrestling wasn't to the highest of caliber, yet the show was still incredible. AEW firmly knows who they are, and even if they don't try hard, they're freaking trying. More often than not, we wrestling fans just want to know that what we are watching is trying, and AEW tries every week. 8 out of 10 for me. Great show. And ladies and gentlemen, second, the time is winding down.
I got it, Flail. I'll take it. So what Anthony was trying to allude to was a lot of things. All right, first off, tomorrow night we got Strictly Sports. We're going to be covering the NHL Stanley Cup Final. The Tampa Bay Lightning are already up 2-0 in the Stanley Cup Final. They won. Dominated game 1, 5-1. Won tonight, 3-1. We'll get into it. We're gonna get into the rest of the rest of the playoffs. On top of that, for the first time since 1993, the Phoenix Suns are going to the NBA Finals. They have just wrapped it up. They've put away the Los Angeles Clippers in 6 games, dominating fashion right now, as they blow them out in Staples here tonight. The LA Clippers and the Phoenix Suns, it is over 130-103. The Phoenix Suns now officially are in the NBA Finals. They now await the winner of the Eastern Conference Final between the Atlanta Hawks and the Milwaukee Bucks. We will preview that series a week from now, not tomorrow, but a week from now. So we'll wait for that. So what we're going to do is tomorrow, I think there's a couple of items that we need to get into, Anthony. I don't know for sure.
There are a couple of things on the NHL side that need to be addressed. The Seattle Kraken have their inaugural head coach. I mean, I know that's something you wanted to address.
There were also a few awards that were handed out already, including one that we can really celebrate as New York Ranger fans.
Woohoo! And it's one of the big ones.
Oh yeah,
the Norris Trophy, the best defenseman in the NHL, Adam Fox of your New York Hockey Rangers.
Yeah,
and even better. It was presented to him by the great Brian Leach. How awesome is that?
Yeah, that was awesome. Awesome.
The heart and soul of that 1994 Stanley Cup team. The MVP of that team. So
we got a few of those. We got a few of those announcements as well.
Stanley Cup final, and
Stanley
on
Cup
top
final?
of that there is one other thing that needs to be addressed. It was announced earlier today that all NFL teams are going back to full capacity. All of it, the whole league, full capacity.
There you go. Look out, Gillette.
Damn straight.
And I think that should be the leadoff story tomorrow night.
And then on top of that, I just found out that tomorrow they're going to announce the starters for the MLB All-Star game. I think we should at least get into that at least.
And you know what? I think in addition to, I think we should also address the NHL award winners. I think haven't they all been handed out? I think they've all been handed out.
I think the only one is MVP. I don't think has been handed out yet.
No, I think that was handed out.
Well, you know what? We'll check it. We'll dive into it. If we find it and we see that they're all
it's been handed out. It's been handed out.
All right. Is there any other awards that have not been handed out yet, or have they all been handed out?
Well, actually, the ceremony aired last. I guess they had some sort of ceremony last night. Maybe it was a virtual ceremony or something. I don't know, but yeah, it looks to me that I think all of the awards have been handed out. I just want to do a quick double check before we wrap up for the night, and I want to say all of the awards have been handed out. So
then we're gonna cover it. We're covering it. It's done.
And happily, well, the Hart. Let's just say the Hart was no big surprise. I mean, we had a feeling that the winner of this was going to win it based on what he did. And a Ranger won an award, like MF said. And I'm also pleased to announce, Bullock, that a Boston Bruin won an award as well.
We'll get into all that tomorrow. So
NHL. So here we go. I'll set it up.
Set it.
NFL returning to full capacity, whole league. We will definitely get into that. That definitely needs to be addressed. Seattle Kraken had we'll do that. Then we'll get into the Major League Baseball All-Star starters revealed. We'll get into that. Seattle Kraken head coach, and then we'll do the NHL award winners, and then the Stanley Cup preview as the main event. So I think we got our show for tomorrow night. So I think we're set to go. 10:30 tomorrow night.
All right. With that said, thank you, Anthony Florio. Thank you, Michael Bullock, as always. Thank you guys, as always. Like the video, leave a comment at the bottom, share with all your friends on all the social media platforms. Phoenix, congratulations. You're going to the NBA Finals. And for all of us here, have a good night, everybody.